onset of NIL and the transfer portal, it is allowing players to develop further in college, and guys that would maybe be stuck on the bench at a power program and not have as much shine are having the ability to find themselves in the spotlight.
Lane Kiffin came out and said we need to get bigger and more physical in terms of the offensive defensive lines, and that's why he went out and recruited that talent.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify in these majors. You got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness. And I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And welcome in Game Live, and we are PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan as we await the puck to drop in the all-important Game 5 in the Eastern Conference Finals between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. And then, of course, later this hour, we'll get the opening tip-off in the Western Conference Finals in the NBA between the Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Mix in about a handful of Major League Baseball action tonight, culminating with the late game, the Yankees trying to take another one from the Angels here. So a lot to look forward to here, Dave. And you are representing the Rangers here tonight. So this should be a fun hour and 55 minutes with you. This should be good. Who might you be looking at tonight?
We got Jack behind the scenes. Jack's a Ranger fan. He said requirement tonight to come on with Raineri. You must wear the Ranger stuff, and you better be backing the Rangers. And I said, listen, how about just we go with the under? Let's. I love the goal horn, and we'll announce the goals with the goal horn here tonight. I think we have an absolute war coming on our hands tonight. I don't know if the referees are in the mood to call penalties and we get power plays, the game's going to go over. If we don't, we're going to get great goaltending and a 2-1, 3-1, maybe 3-2 game and a dead under. Now, the juice is getting pretty significant on the under. I mean, Igor's been great. Not good. He's been great. There it is right there, 10-4, 2.38 goals against. Save percentage continues to go up because they're getting shots on him. Now, the Rangers aren't really getting shots on Bob. You know, Sergei Bobrovsky's making the saves, timely saves. You've seen it. There it is right there. I mean, his save percentage is, 90 because he's not seen as many shots. So I think we get a great game. It's like a New York type of night, isn't it? We get Rangers at home in Madison Square Garden. The Mets are a complete dumpster fire, disaster. Guys throwing gloves in the stands. They're home tonight against the Diamondbacks. The late game is the Yankees at the Angels, which I've been to. Joe, did you ever go to a Yankee game on the road anywhere?
Mm-hmm. Yes, a lot.
It's like the Beatles.
I've seen the Yankees on the road.
It doesn't even matter. Like, everybody comes with the Yankee gear. There's way more Yankee fans. And then, the computer got the game tonight. The Angels are going to win this game tonight? What numbers did the computer put in? The Angels are going to beat them? I got the Yankees minus 170.
Strange.
What? It can't be.
I can't figure it out. I had the Yankees to win by more than a run last night, and I thought they were going to blow that thing open in the first inning until, of course, somehow there's on an infield fly, you can interfere with a player as you're on your way back to second base. So I have no idea how we went from bases loaded and nobody out to start the game to bases loaded and quickly 2 outs and only being able to muster across 1 run last night. So maybe one of the stupidest rules for some reason they're enforcing about this whole can't bump into a player on your way back to a bag. It's called interference. It's now twice we've seen that in the last couple of weeks. That ended a game, I believe, in Chicago with the White Sox and Baltimore that way just a couple of weeks ago and killed what should have been a monster inning and a start to the game. But they did get the win last night, but I can't figure out why they have not scored more than 5 runs. They've left literally runners on base in every inning in that series. And Sandoval is on the mound, and Carlos Rodon seems to be, I guess everyone's waiting for the wheels to fall off on him. Everybody I have talked to and seen today appears to think that this Angels team, who is pretty good against lefties, is going to light him up here. I took the over. I'm on the over 8.5 because I don't think the Yankees are going to score just 2 runs against Sandoval in this game. So let's hope for fireworks if we could here, Dave. I think that would be good for everybody involved. So this way, at least one New York team can win today.
Yeah, because the Mets aren't going to win today. We started the show, it was 0-0. Now the Diamondbacks are up 2-0, middle to third, just like that. I say it all the time in baseball season. You don't have to always try to pick like nonstop winners. Just pick against the bad teams. The Mets are playing as bad as anybody in baseball. Okay. Just play the Diamondbacks. You're probably going to win 2 out of 3. Yes. And move forward from there. So we'll keep an eye on that. The other games going on tonight, the Tigers and the Red Sox. The Nationals have an early lead against the Braves. That'll be one of those ones that a lot of people will look to play the Braves to come back. I think the Braves you got to be careful with for a little while. It's not an automatic. Without Acuna in the lineup, they have to make adjustments.
Nope.
Maybe they don't score as much. They weren't really scoring a lot before. So I don't know if I'm saying like lay 2.5 with the Nationals. I'm not saying that. Maybe take 2.5 with the Braves, right? Like we did that the other night with the Stars and the hockey. That worked out really good. The hockey comebacks have been good.
Mm-hmm.
So
you ain't going to get that there, though, unfortunately. Not with Trevor Williams on the mound. I don't know what it is with Washington and Trevor Williams. They're 8-2 when he has started this season here. They are actually a really, really good team here. So, they're a pesky team. And unfortunately, like you said, Atlanta going through it right now, which unfortunately they got a few things that they're going to have to figure out here. And this kid Kerr that they threw tonight, I mean, he's given up 8 earned runs in his last 10 innings. That's not a great percentage, which leads me to believe that the 3 runs that they already have on the board should not be a surprise. And the Mets are so bad, just ask their players. They'll tell you how bad they are. In fact, Zach Gallen didn't even show. Zach Gallen got hurt, although they did just hit a solo home run to make it a 2-1 game right now. But it's not Zach Gallen. I thought Gallen was pitching tonight. What happened? Apparently he hurt himself early in this game. See you later, Zach Gallen. So we've got a scramble of a bullpen game for the Diamondbacks, which leads me to believe if the Mets are going to get right here, Dave, they're down 2-1. Now may be the time to jump on the Mets here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Jump on the Mets and probably, let me hit refresh.
I wouldn't have done that if it was Zach Gallen, but
total's only 7.5.
He ain't available.
We basically got a bullpen game, right, for the Diamondbacks. Where they figure you have the ace. He's given us quality start pretty much almost every game. So now you're scrambling. I just looked at the box score. Gallen he didn't even record an out. I don't know if it was what happened, but gave up one hit, didn't record an out. So now they got to piece it together. Maybe
good.
Runs will come in bunches. I like the over automatically in that situation.
Ooh.
It's 7.5. So I think
what's the Mets team total? Because I would imagine you can probably get that at a cheap rate. It's not like Arizona's been crushing the ball either.
Right.
But if whoever you think is going to win will probably get to 4 runs in this game, and I highly doubt the Mets team total is anywhere even near 4. So we might have an opportunity to jump in on that one with no Zach Gallen and a scrambling Arizona bullpen right now. Solo home run by the Mets. They finally figured out how to hit the ball. But again, they got a lot of PR damage control being done right now, the New York Mets, as they try to explain to the world that, their pitcher doesn't know what he's talking about. We really don't suck this bad, and we are by far not the worst team in Major League. Well, no, actually, you're very close to being the worst team in Major League Baseball. There's a lot of half-truths in what that man said yesterday, and kudos to him for having to say it as well here. Well, we're going to have to pick a winner in this hockey game, and I don't think Dave or anybody behind the scenes is going to like what I'm going to say, so come back and join us here in Game Live.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. And it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer, too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live prime time. So I'm watching this Met game, and they're up in the owner's box interviewing a guy, and I'm like, why are they spending 5 minutes talking to this random dude? I'm like, who is this guy? And they just flash it. It's Mookie Wilson, and I wouldn't have recognized him if I ran him over in the middle of the road. But good old Mookie Wilson up in the owner's box here.
Yeah.
Maybe they're bringing in some of the old-timers, Dave, to maybe calm things down with the firestorm that was created with how bad this team has been and players calling each other out. So They got Mookie Wilson on the broadcast. They're still down 2-1, but they're going to the bullpen for Arizona. Zach Gallen is out. You had mentioned it, plus 160, 170 for the Mets. It's 2-1. They could be very live here in this one with the scrambling that's going on with the bullpen of Arizona.
No question. Seen it before. What baseball teams do when things are going bad, like with the current team, you always bring back the guys from the glory years. You have nights where you recognize certain things that have passed, right? Like, expect some of those Mets from that World Series team. I don't know how many years is it, 1986 is 14, 38. Let's have a 38-year anniversary celebration. Let's bring everybody back from that team. You know, even like Kevin Mitchell can come back. See if we can get, whoever else. So maybe Wally Backman's available. Was he on that team? I think he was.
Wow.
Raineri, right? Just start calling him up and say, hey, can you come back? Wave to the fans throughout the first pitch, something like that. So, yeah, this will be one of those situations. What are you wowing right now? You make me nervous.
Dave Kingman, too, they're bringing back? Did they hand out a invite to good old, you going way back here. With Ray Knight and who was the closer? What, Sid Fernandez, Jesse Orozco? Who was it that they were bringing? Yeah, one of the all-time greats. Right? Yep.
Yeah. Huh. There's a lot about to remember about that team. Get back to the hockey because they're singing the national anthem. A lot of people are watching it. The producers took a shot tonight. Did you see what they did? I mean, they went with a guy to score a goal. Lafreniere plus 310. Who's responsible for this? Is this Vinny? Vinny's off. Is Jack? Took his shot. Plus 310. Joe. I mean, could have gone with anybody.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. What do you have? 2 goals the other day, too? Was it 2? I believe he scored in... Yeah. He's been 3 goals in the last couple of games. I know he had 2 in game 3, that first one in Florida. But yeah, I mean, he's been, it's worth a shot for sure. But to me, we played it last time. I'll play it again. It's always a sweat though in this series with the first period under. But like you had said, you got a lot of money coming in on the under here for the game, and the longer this series goes, the tighter it goes. So I'm going to go back to the under first period, 1.5 goals, and you already know I played. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The end of regulation, this game will be tied, people. We are going to yet another overtime at plus 300. So if it ain't broke, why not fix it here, Dave? We're already ahead of money now since we've been playing it every game. And these two, more so than what we saw last night, probably going to be within a goal of one another within the final 4 or 5 minutes of this game anyway.
Yes, sir. So the producers took their shot with the anytime goal scorer. Okay.
Sure.
How about for Hagee? If you look at the list, there's a couple guys. I think if you're thinking Florida, for Hagee, I mean, I would like to get a little more than 2-1, but I feel okay with his number there. Almost lead me to go Barkov. I don't want any of those guys in the bottom. Kreider, no. Trocheck, no. So I understand why the boys took a shot and Jack took a shot with Lafreniere. I think it's a Benajed, maybe for the Rangers if you're looking at these numbers. I don't know. For Hagee, for me, for Florida, he'll probably get the most shots. So, guy, it's a volume thing. Just like in the basketball, when you pick a guy to get over threes, you want him shooting. You want him getting opportunities. So, we'll address that more. Kurtz is coming on later. Do you think he has the Yankees tonight? I bet he has the Yankees tonight.
Well, are the Yankees the favorite? Then yes, he absolutely has the Yankees tonight. Already they're fighting, by the way, 6 seconds in. That's great. That should be a whole lot of fun. Well, oh, wow, Kreider is playing. Oh, wow, I had no idea. I thought he was hurt this series because I haven't seen his name brought up once. He is on the ice. Go figure. And he's already throwing shots early on here, so they're going at it. I don't understand why Barkov was almost plus 3-1 there. What at scoring a goal didn't make any sense. And Reinhardt was up at the top. I didn't even see him. Was he that chalky?
Yes.
Got to be what? Plus 180 somewhere in that ballpark there?
Plus one. I think it was plus 180. Well, I just saw the replay of that. There it is right there.
Yeah.
Reinhardt plus 165.
Plus.
That was kind of a cheap cut by Kreider. I mean, the guy wasn't looking. He gave him a little elbow. But this is playoff hockey, right? I mean, we're going to give you a little shot like this, Joe. Just make sure you're engaged in the game. Just if you're paying attention.
6 seconds in.
Yeah.
Woo.
6.
Yes.
Welcome to New York.
Wow.
We're going to be here all night. Let's go. I love it.
Well, let me ask you this. Who has been what have we played? 12 periods so far? 4 games, 3 periods, so 12 actually with overtime. So we played more, right? So we played so we played 15 periods so far.
Approximately.
Florida's been the better team in what? 11 of them?
A lot of it.
Oh.
A lot of it. But Igor was the best player on the ice, which is why the Rangers won game 3 down there.
Yep.
And I mean, his saves over tonight. I don't even know what the number was.
I think 28.5. I think the shots are coming tonight. Get ready. Fireworks coming your way here. InGame Live Primetime continues.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you know, as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer, too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
InGame Live, Primetime, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live. We are Primetime here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan. No score here in Game 5 between the Rangers and the Panthers. This certainly looks like it's going to be a pretty tight one here. Though both teams have had a couple of shots on goal, nothing crazy in that one. I would imagine, however, the level of urgency coming up tonight with the Minnesota Timberwolves again against the Dallas Mavericks, given the fact that while there is no tomorrow for them, down 3-1, and kudos to them for winning Game 4 in Dallas, but they got to keep winning, and that's a big ask here. And look at that number there, 209.5, 210 for a total. Up to 5. I'm starting to see, I think, Dave, that's where the line was drawn, 4.5 in the market as well here. So I think 5 was it, and then the buyback happened. And listen, 3 of the 4 games have been settled by 5 or fewer points here. That's a big ask of this team here, this Minnesota team, to win by more than 5, isn't it?
Yeah. Dog or nothing for me sidewise. Total, it's under. I got South Dakota Mike. He's watching the show comfortably here in Vegas, and he said some of the other pros that he's hanging out with, they all have the under. The player points is interesting because if you like Dallas, I think it's an automatic that you have Luka over points.
Right.
I don't know which guy. I mean, what Karl Anthony Towns did last game for Minnesota was really much needed, not totally unexpected, but it didn't do it in this series yet. That number feels like it's a little bit up, like that would be one I'd look to play under. And then I don't know which guy. Matt came on BVB today and has Naz Reid over that number, 10.5. I feel like that was one of the ones that got a buzz. So as far as player points, it's probably Naz Reid over, Cat under, Luka over. I don't know. I used to root for games. In a book, you just want more games, right? We just need more games. That gives us more opportunities to take bets on different props and stuff like player-made threes, right? You could have a whole market on that, which we do right here. Good job, boys. Who's the player-made threes, Joe? When you look at that screen, who is it? There's one guy for me. I just looked at it, said that's got to be over. Easy.
I mean, it's going to be the guys up at the top if it's going to be anybody. I mean, Anthony Edwards had 29 points last game, but it took 25 shots to get those 29 points. So something tells me he won't be spending a lot of time passing the ball here tonight. He will take his shots. And if Karl Anthony Towns doesn't hit his points here tonight, then they're not winning. I just don't see. McDaniels has switched to covering Kyrie in the last game. So forget about him making any points. He's going to be totally focused on trying to keep Kyrie off the scoreboard here. Right. And Luka on the road, guys, averages 31, 9, and 9 in the playoffs so far this season. They play faster on the road, and they're 6-2 on the road in the playoffs. So the tempo for Dallas will be there for guys to have some big nights. You just got to figure out which one do you trust. And anybody know if Lively's going? They said game time. He was at the shoot around. He's been warming up with them.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a pretty big, important piece defensively for Dallas there. And certainly I would like to know if he's playing, because if he is not playing, then Anthony Edwards might have a little easier time getting to the rim here and cleaning up some shots and getting a few more points. What, 28.5 for him? I would imagine he's going over that. Yeah.
PJ Washington. Over. That's my player-made threes.
Yes.
On that list we have. That's the one.
To.
I think he gets open look, see shots tonight. Just a field play. Just a quick update. The Rangers are on a power play. So stay on high alert with the goal horn. It's a good opportunity for the Rangers to score, you to sweat your first period under, because it's been pretty smooth sailing. We're just in 5 minutes in the first period. Kurtz is coming on. We're betting he has the Yankees. And I'm going to say he has some in a home run. He definitely has the Yankees. He hasn't won a run.
He's having the Yankees, and whoever will be leading in this game when he gets on. It's because that'll be the chalkiest of chalk. I promise you.
now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you know, as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
InGame Live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live, and we are primetime here on this Thursday. As pretty good one there, penalty kill for the Panthers, and back at full strength here. And the Rangers keeping the pressure on, couple of big saves here. So still nothing. We've got about 8 minutes in the first period. So far, so good on the first period unders. We welcome in George Kurtz here to the house. As George, you've been watching this game, and I'm going to imagine, I know you have a Panther ticket somewhere in the future there. Were you looking at the Panthers in this one tonight?
I think it's hard not to look at the Panthers in this one. They've played very well the last two games. Now, I don't necessarily care about everyone's talking about, they've had 89 to 44 as far as chances are concerned. I think the game before that was 122 to 49, whatever matters. It's really the high grade chances you're worried about here. All right, and even that last game was 15-2. So the Panthers are outplaying the Rangers pretty badly in Florida. Now maybe the Rangers being back at home, they get to make the last change. They'll get better matchups out there, but hard to really feel great about the Rangers with the exception of Shesterkin. And I know we all keep saying, well, if not for Shesterkin, the Rangers wouldn't be there. Well, guess what? He's on the team. All right? It's so annoying when people say that. He's part of the team. If they didn't have a goalie like Shesterkin, they might play a different system, right? They might play it differently, be more defensive here, but they know they can rely on him to make those saves here. I think Edmonton would be different if they didn't have Connor McDavid. Right? Toronto might be different. Well, they probably should be different anyway if they didn't have Austin Matthews. And it goes on and on and on like that. Shesterkin's part of the team. It's why he allows them to do what they do here. That being said, you're right, Joe. I am on Florida to win in 7. That hasn't changed. I'm on Florida to win tonight.
What's that saying? If my aunt had something, she'd be my uncle. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. I got a friend who loves that saying.
Yeah, that's one of those. All right, so George, we were talking about the game. We were talking about the total, and it feels like it's another underplay. A lot of money came in on under. Books really didn't want to move it off the 5.5. I mean, I looked right before the show in a couple places. It was minus 145 or 150 under the 5.5. It's going to move to 4.5 here very quickly. They already killed one penalty. If you're looking at the total, you're thinking under with the rest of us. I mean, how could you not? And 2, if you got to pick a goal scorer, who do you pick at least on Florida. I'm not crazy about picking someone on the Rangers, but we were talking about it on Florida. If somebody's going to score a goal tonight for them, who would you pick?
Yeah, like everybody else, I'm with the under as well here. I mean, it's just hard because to pick the over means you probably need Shesterkin not to play great as well, right? Bobrovsky's certainly an option. He could certainly not play great, right? We can get 4 goals in the range. It wouldn't be a shock. But you might need Shesterkin to have lay an egg as well here. So it's hard to play the over between these two teams. So I'm on the under. As far as anytime goal score for Florida, I think you're looking at 2 guys, maybe 3. Barkov would be 1, Reinhart, maybe Verhaeghe. Maybe Carter V there. We could look at him. The problem with Florida is why they're such a good team because they're well-rounded. I could pick 3 more guys for you as well. Right, Kachuk's not part of this. We haven't mentioned him because they don't have that 60-goal scorer. They don't have the Zach Hyman, who, by the way, I got to buy a Zach Hyman jersey. This guy's been great for me all year long. But they don't have a Hyman, Matthews, kind of Drysdale, almost a McDavid, but he hasn't been a great goal scorer this year. They don't have that guy. They spread it around between their top 6 forwards here. It's why they are as good as they are.
So this is going to be interesting. I think the other series last night that we saw, Kurt, you like this one in 7. Edmonton shows up last night. Are we getting 7 in this? Are we getting 2 7-game series in all likelihood?
Now, pre-series, I picked Stars in 6 here. But, yeah, I think we're going 7 here.
Yep.
Listen, I doubt we're going to get – but if I could bet it, I doubt we're going to get both series to go 7. All right, we'll be disappointed in one. Someone will win Game 5 and Game 6 here. We can't get 2 Game 7s. I hope we do. It would be great theater as far as the NHL is concerned. But you have to be impressed with Edmonton last night. I mean, you give up 2 quick goals. I thought it was over. No, they're dead. That's it. Dead. It's over. All right. And I was on Edmonton last night because I thought they'd rebound. But I thought it was, all right, Skinner's done. Maybe it's more fan reaction. Okay, you should pull Skinner, put Pickard in. They didn't. They stayed with it. And, hey, great. Just absolutely great. They make a comeback here. That being said, I'll be on Dallas for Game 5. All right, so ding, 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 ding. I'll say Dallas wins at home here, that they go up 3-2. Although I am worried about Chris Tanev. All right, if he's out, I might change my mind or at least go over. I was on the over yesterday anyway. In Dallas, I would probably stay under, but if Tanev is out, I'll probably change that to over again. But I want to see what the line's going to be at as well. But Tanev would be a huge loss. For those who know, he came over in a trade at the deadline from Calgary. He'd be a huge loss there if he can't. But he blocked that shot. And, guys, I think he blocked that right on bone. I think it missed the ankle guard there, and I think he blocked it right on bone. I don't think it's broken, but I think it hurts a lot.
Ouch.
Yeah, that leaves a mark, and then it hurts worse afterward and the next day, and we'll probably get an undisclosed injury or suffering from whatever they
lower body.
Call it.
Like we all don't know what it is.
Anything below the waist. Swinging to the baseball, it's become kind of a New York type of night with the Rangers being at home at MSG. The Mets being at home against the Diamondbacks, I can't even begin to understand what the hell's going on with the Mets. But the Yankees are at the Angels, and this computer picked the Angels to win the game tonight. How can this be, George? I know you have a Yankee ticket in your pocket. Do you not? Joe and I have a bet that you have a Yankee ticket in your pocket.
Who bet that I have the Yankee ticket? Who bet that I didn't?
It was unanimous between me, Joe, Jack. Everybody bet the yes. We couldn't find anybody to bet the
graphic
no.
designer, maybe Cardano and Greg got into this. Yes, I have a Yankee ticket on this, but I am bigger on the under. All right, the Yankees aren't hitting again. They're not hitting again. Rodon's going tonight.
Guys on base a lot.
They can't drive him in. You get on base all you like. Can't drive him in. California, man, that ball doesn't travel as well as it does. What do they call that? The air there, whatever, the thick air of the ocean there. So the ball's not traveling. Yankees aren't hitting with people on base here. It's 8.5, not 7.5. I think we're getting a really nice price here to take the under. Rizzo's out of the lineup tonight. Hey, congratulations, Boone. You've been paying attention. He's terrible. All right. It may make some moves here, see what happens. The Yankees did suffer a blow today. We find out that Clark Schmidt is pretty much gone until maybe August, with the lat strain here. So that problem about what happens when Cole comes back, well, sort of just solved itself. Although, once again, Cole's probably gone for at least another 3 to 4 weeks as well. So Cody Petit and Colby Morris will sort of take over that role here as who's going to start in the fifth starter slot here. But no Schmidt. I'm on the under tonight. And guys, unless things change, I imagine I'll be on the under all week in all weekend as the Yankees play in San Francisco as well here. I don't think they'll let the scoreboard there either.
Oh, wow. All right. So we got an under and the Yankees here. We've been talking that Zach Gallen lasted all of one hitter, I think, and now they're scrambling Arizona in the bullpen. If you're going to bet the Mets, now would be the time to bet the Mets at plus money. I know you get allergic to plus money there, Kurt, so might we convince you to jump in on the Mets here at all?
Yeah, I start to itch and scratch, man, when you talk about plus money. Man. It scares me. I wanted to take the Mets tonight pregame, but it was Zach Gallen. All right, so I stayed away. Then he last, one batter? Two? I think it was the two batters.
Unreal.
All right, so he went out with the injury there. So, yeah, you can interest me. You would think, once again, team would rebound after what happened. Jorge Lopez just losing his marbles yesterday. And I love the way the agent got a hold of him. Listen, buddy, you got to apologize for this. You can't go out like that. All right, you're not going to get hired again. You got to say, you were misinterpreted here. It's language barrier. So they took care of that today. Good for them. But, yeah, I think the Mets are a decent play. But I would have thought they were a decent play before they went down 2-1 here. So we'll see here. The Mets are they're a cluster F.
That they are, but not like the Diamondbacks are crushing guys either. So plus 170, Kurtz. All right, don't worry. We got a cream for it when you bust out in hives. You'll trust us when I tell you. All right, in-game live prime time will continue next here on the grid, you chalky.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right, and being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer, too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live prime time here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan. Still no score here. Rangers and the Panthers in Game 5, Madison Square Garden. Both teams have had a couple of good opportunities on net, but have not been able to convert. The Panthers being outshot, I believe, 7-3 right now in the first period. 5.5 to go. First period under looking decent. The full game total of 5.5 going to hold strong, but that can change at any moment once we get a goal. And in the NBA, Dallas has come out firing, red hot. Derek Lively is playing. He is on the court there and making his presence known. Just got into a little kerfuffle here, Dave, with Rudy Gobert. I mean, who doesn't like to get into a nice little kerfuffle here with Rudy Gobert? But 16-10 right now. In-game total closed at what? 209, 217.5 right now. We're pretty much at a pick-em price, up 6 with about 7 minutes to go in the first. But that'll drop here at some point. In fact, what number are we looking at before we hammer the under here, Dave?
I think you want to get over 220, right? I think that's
220,
yeah. Yeah. I'm impressed with you getting kerfuffle into the first hour and using it
you
multiple
like that,
times.
Right?
That's a good Scrabble word. That's very nice. That's good.
Yep.
Kids, if you don't know what Scrabble is, you should probably go get a board game and play it. Like, that's a fun game. There's an app now you can play Scrabble. Yes. But that was good usage of the word. Good mention of the total in the basketball game. This is kind of one of the fast starts that I think favors Dallas. Dallas is fine with this, the way this is going right now. So, again, if you got Dallas, 16-10, 7 minutes and change left in the first. So, not surprised. We said dog was the side. That was the side for me. So, let's click refresh.
And they always play faster on the road.
Didn't flip.
Dallas always plays faster on the road. For that reason right there, Dave, they get into better rhythm and they don't let anybody else dictate to them. So, and the Timberwolves have looked as if they are going, whoa, can we slow this thing down a little? This is not what we this is not how we wanted to play. That's kind of the vibe we're getting with the Timberwolves right now. Yes.
Right. Look at the in-game. It's so that's why I was just thinking it out in my head. I asked, is Dallas favored yet? I think you're going to see some serious volatility in this game. There's going to be repeated opportunities to take positions on both sides. If you grabbed any fives before, you can. Right now, the money line is minus 120, minus 105 here, and it's minus a half plus a half. Which, again, I don't know why you don't need a point spread if you have minus a half. That's a money line bet.
Correct.
That's the Euro model stuff. Like, just turn the point spread off. I know how to do it on the software. It's not hard. Just turn the point spread off when it's a pick 'em. Leave it as a pick 'em. But in this first quarter alone, you're going to get both teams favored. I mean, unless they come out of the timeout and then go on a 6-0 run and Dallas never leads again. If Dallas gets in that basket, remember, take a 1.5 with the dog. Less than halfway through the first quarter. That's how this is going to move, Joe. Going to be a lot of stuff going back and forth. The total, maybe not so much, right? It's because we're talking it out. We know what's coming. If we're running the book, it's at 220. Boom. They're going to send out an alert. Play it under because they've been going over 208, under 220, 2.5. Fall them right in the middle, 3 out of the 4 games.
I think that's going to see the biggest volatility here, though, with this total. And we've already seen Minnesota can go these ridiculously long stretches without scoring.
True.
And it gets it, and then all of a sudden, in a matter of 3 minutes, it's a 12-0 run. So it is certainly it's certainly going to give them an opportunity, and us as bettors an opportunity to be able to get in at some pretty good prices here right now. It's a game of runs, so just sit tight. Don't make any crazy moves if you have any pre-flop positions right now in Dallas or Minnesota. Wait until we get into the second period and see what the benches can do for these guys. In the meantime, the Panthers were on a power play of some sort, it looks like. Still no goals. In-game number, though, Dave, 4.5.
Yep.
So if we go scoreless, what does this thing drop to? It won't drop to 3.5 in a second, will it?
Oh, it might close the first period at 3.5. It might
Really?
actually, yeah. Oh, it's going to
Ooh.
go. Watch the juice in the next, 4 minutes.
Wow.
It's going to be 4.5 with serious juice to the under, and then somebody might take a shot and say make it 3.5 before they start the period. Although we've seen first period unders, second period overs. That's the reverse.
Unreal.
Did you look at the Conn Smythe stuff at all? Did you look in the hockey at any Conn Smythe stuff? I wanted to ask George this, and I just remembered it right now, so I'm kind of talking it out. But I think the winner of this game becomes the favorite for the Conn Smythe. Connor McDavid won yesterday, right? Got back into the race. And there's the market right there. Good job, boys. And he's the favorite. Igor went back to plus 5-1, 550. He was the favorite after they won game 3. And then tomorrow, whoever you think is going to win, you can grab Ottinger or McDavid. And you're getting better prices than any of the futures. So I think it's pretty clear. If it's Rangers, it's Igor. If it's Dallas, it's probably Ottinger. If it's Florida, that's the catch. That's the tough one. And if it's Oilers, it's McDavid. So I just wanted to bring that up again. I didn't mean to break up the NBA conversation, but that was on my mind, and I totally spaced asking George that because we got caught up on Yankee baseball.
Yes. Uh-oh. Well, I tell you what, if Reinhart keeps scoring power play goals, it'll be interesting to see where he falls in line with that price. Still, we'll have more on that. In-game live primetime continues.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you know, as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live, and we are prime time, and we have got saves galore here in the NHL. Rangers and the Panthers, the all-important Game 5 at Madison Square Garden, and both goalies, Shesterkin as well as Bobrovsky, have just been stonewalling guys here. I mean, amazing saves. 12-8 right now, I think, shots on goal. Rangers are ahead, but every one of those has been not easy for either goaltender right now. So still no score, and you're right, Dave. I'm waiting for that 3.5 and there it is, 3.5 available. End of the first period. Unreal.
Still got it, Joe. We still got it. We can still do it. We don't even need an algorithm or a computer. We just kind of sit in a chair and just move the numbers and do it. Okay, so we've seen the first period, and the Rangers were excellent.
Right.
I mean, if I'm assessing who's the better team, the Rangers had more chances, more high leverage chances. Bobrovsky kept the Panthers in the game. But don't get me wrong, Igor made the 2 saves right there before the end of the period. That blocker save was exceptional. And then that backhand earlier, I think it was by no, it wasn't Verhaeghe. I don't know who it was. Anyhow, he made a couple really big saves too. 3.5. If you have 3.5 right now, with the game that closed 5.5, I mean, you got 4 and 5 working for you if you go over 3.5. And you know I love the middles. I don't think I'd bet over 3.5 right now, Joe. I don't. I would not bet over 3.5 with what I'm seeing right now and what I saw. I'm good letting our position sit at 5.5, and the only middle I'll take a shot at when it gets to 2.5. So we got to gamble.
I agree.
First 5 minutes, maybe the first 7, that there's no goals, or it's late in that spot where they keep the number at 3.5, and then it gets back down, and the odds maker flashes 2.5. Would you bet under 3.5 or over 3.5 right now?
The way these two guys are playing right now, it does feel like at best we're going to get a 2-1 game here.
Right?
At best, it's going to be 2-1. In all likelihood, it could be 1-0. That could be in all likelihood what we're going to get here. But it's still what? Pick 'em price for the side right now.
Minus 120, minus 130. Just go right back to the closing number. That's the easy out. When you put it up in the book, you go back to the closing price. Would it close 125, 120, 130? Okay, just put it up somewhere in the middle. Nothing's changed other than I might slide it a little towards the Rangers, because if they score first, this could really be that momentum where that game is. That when I texted Jack earlier about, the show and the games and stuff, I got the obligatory "Let's go Rangers," and I said must win.
Mm-hmm.
This is a must win, and I feel like everybody watching the game, going, they better win. Not that they can't go to Florida and win Game 6 Saturday night. They can, but the odds will be against them. They'll be gigantic. I mean, in this series, gigantic dogs is minus 170 on Florida, or plus 150, somewhere in that neighborhood. So this is great, Joe. What's going on in the basketball? I haven't peeked at it for like 5 minutes. What's
nothing good for Minnesota? They're down 30-18 with 2.5 minutes to go.
Ouch.
As Dallas continues to, Luka looks once again like he is a man possessed. And he is just kind of saying, okay, he took all the blame after Game 4 there, said it's on him. He took responsibility, didn't play with enough energy. He let his team down. He said that will not happen here tonight. And my goodness.
He's 8 of 10.
Averages.
He's 8 of 10.
Yes.
4 of 5 from 3. He has 20 points. It's still the first quarter. What?
Correct. He is apparently he averages in the postseason nearly 35 points in the game after a loss. He is the single best at avenging a loss than anybody in the history of the NBA in the postseason. You beat Luka, and it's usually because you beat him and he didn't have a great game. That following game, Dave, he averages 35 points. He's got 20 in the first quarter already, and the Timberwolves look absolutely lost right now. My goodness, unbelievable. In-game number still 212.5. I know. Flipped. That's an 8-point swing. It's absolutely crazy.
now you have to qualify in these majors. You got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you know, as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York team has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live. We are prime time here. What a game in the playoffs in both the NHL and the NBA here tonight. Maybe not so much if you have Minnesota, but plenty of basketball still to go there, as the Mavericks are up 31-18 with about a minute to go in the first quarter. When Lucas said he was not happy with that last loss there in Game 4 at home, took total responsibility, promised to be better. I don't think Minnesota realized what he was talking about here, Dave, because this is a first quarter for the ages. 20 points. He just went back-to-back with steals. He is on track for at least 40 or more points in this game. But they are throwing everything at him and can't stop him, which is just absolutely crazy. And we still got about 60 seconds left to go, and it's a 12-point game. In-game number, Dave, what? It closed 4.5, 5. That's what Dallas was getting. And Dallas is now laying 4.5. 208.5, though, Dave. What a difference a quarter makes, right? It was as high as 217.5. Not anymore.
You got to protect against the blowout. It's a reality. You're down, what is that, 13 points, 14 points in the first quarter. Now, they're going to come back, right? But
of course.
4.5. I would argue it's not enough if I'm looking for the dog money. Like, I would wait and try to grab 7.5. There it is. Wow, somebody's actually paying attention and watching the show. This is incredible. 7.5's the number.
There we go.
Now we're actually we're moving. It's amazing. I feel like I'm back in the chair.
35-19. That's what it ended.
Yeah. So end of the first quarter, all time off the clock. I got to offer you and everyone at home watching a game a price on the T-Wolves after that, where you willingly push the button or give us the money from the book's perspective.
Yep.
It got to start at 7.5. And I don't know if that's enough. It can't continue. Or this could be the legend now.
Nope.
Like this could be the story of Luka going into the finals. He went into Minneapolis in a game after a loss, like you just said, better than anybody, went over all his props, paid everybody off. This is affecting the number against Boston if this is the night that they clinch. Which, by the way, Joe, they don't play for a week. There's no game.
That's correct.
A week.
Right. Yeah, and that was why please don't read the injury report in the Western Conference Finals. The fact that Luka was questionable meant absolutely nothing. Because if he balls out and wins tonight, he's got a week off to heal. They all have a week off to heal after this. Right. So don't put a lot of stock into who's playing, who's not playing. They're all playing at this point. It really doesn't matter, especially if they have a chance to not play for another week. But they have, listen, they haven't had an answer for him. And this was my big dilemma looking at this game tonight and saying, all right, so how much of how bad Luka and Kyrie and Washington, those guys, how much of that was because of how great Minnesota is, or how much was that, Dave, where they had a bad game? They just had a bad game. And whatever Minnesota thought they might have found defensively on Luka, the answer is nothing you did caused Luka to miss all those shots in the last game, apparently. The only thing that stopped him was him. And that's what happens with the truly greats. It's not your defense. Sometimes these guys have off nights, and he didn't have a great one last game. It cost them. Everything went well for Minnesota, and they still only won by 5.
It's one of those things where I always used to say, the guys on the other team, they're trying too, and they're pros.
Yeah.
There's nights that you're going to have a bad night, and the other guy's going to have a good night, and you may be the better team, and you may have a lead in the series 3-0, and you lose.
Correct.
Okay?
Yep.
I love the fact that Luka's that guy that comes back. His in-game number right now, Joe's interesting, right? He's got 20 after 1. The in-game number for points scored for Luka is 41.5. With the juice flipping back and forth, it's almost a dead pick 'em. I hope you have over 30, because that's what it was before.
That's correct.
But we got a lot of people watching the show, looking for bets and different things. Would you go over 41, sir? If it was 40, I'd feel a little better, like 39.5. If 40 was a winner, I think we're going to get there.
Well,
right?
Let's see what his PRA is, because that to me is going to be.
I love these PRAs. The kids love the PRAs.
That'll tell you what's going on here. And right now, they won't even list them. No, let's see here. Kyrie, how many points does Kyrie even have?
3.
Is he even on the board? Because it looks like they have locked up 6 points. Yeah, all right. So here we go. So he's got 6 points. Kyrie's number is 33.5. They don't even have a number posted for Luka here yet, because they're still trying to figure out exactly what if he drops 40 some odd points in this game.
Right.
How we and he's on pace.
Really make a number for all of that on the fly. It's very difficult. All right. So what was the PRA before the game? 43.5, somewhere in that neighborhood.
47.5 is what he was before the game. Points, rebounds, and assists. Now, mind you, Dave, on the road this year in the playoffs, he's averaging 31, 9, and 9. So it was about right. That's what you would have put the PRA at. But again, if he drops 45 in the game, it doesn't make a difference what his rebounds and company is. He's going to be flying over that. So I get why they're hesitant at this point, because anybody that bet the over, well, you're going to get that in points alone. Forget about rebounds and assists here. But it's got to be somebody else too showing up now. Where is Kyrie? Oh, there's Kyrie. Never mind. Kyrie has decided to join the fun now. 42-21. Oh my goodness. So at what point?
Money line.
It's 21 points, Dave. It's a 21-point Dallas lead.
I know we say it's the NBA and there's runs and there's always and there's comebacks and no lead is safe.
It's true though.
I know, but like I'm not buying it tonight. Now, I don't know again what number. Why am I only getting 8.5 when they're up? They doubled them up. It's 42 to 21.
You said it. They got to protect it, right? They got to protect them.
I guess, but like I can't get any bets on Minnesota at this point. Like who's coming in saying that's a good bet? I'm taking 8.5. Nobody. It's all a no use your money. Which again, if you want to kind of, take the bets, I think you got to find the number that somebody's doing Minnesota.
Correct.
I'm seriously trying to think about the series price for the Celtics. Going, this is impressive again on the road, all that other stuff. Does this, in your mind, affect it? I mean, if it's around 220, 180 is minus 220 on the Celtics, maybe a little bit higher, plus 190, plus 180, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe plus 200 if they go up to 240. I think Dallas is live, period, in a series. But I think people are going to look at this performance and go, I'll bet Dallas in game one. I mean, we'll forget about it.
No way.
Week, but don't you think it's coming?
Boston. I think the entire world, the public loves Boston. They have all year. They're going to think Boston no matter what. So it's an interesting combination for sure. We'll talk more about it next here on The Grid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer, too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
InGame Live, PrimeTime, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in InGame Live, and we are prime time here. It is a 26-5 run for the Dallas Mavericks right now over the last 8.5 minutes. Got them up by 20, 46-26, 8 minutes to go before the break. 2:12.5, Dave, and that's the thing I'm struggling with. And by the way, the puck has dropped. Second period underway, Florida and the Rangers. I will say quick there, I did take a stab at a Ranger and Panther shutout in the game at plus 450. So, because it does feel like that is possible for one of these teams here, the way they're playing.
Did you just jinx it like a no-hitter? Did you just jinx it by talking about this in the second period?
No. Well, listen, one team could very well shut out the other team here. It's just a matter of who. I don't think it matters if. I think it's just a matter of who shuts who out here. Power play, though, right off the bat for the Panthers.
Oh, here we go.
We might have our answer here. But at plus 450...
that's worth the shot. That's worth the shot.
Oh.
Listen,
not
you
with
got
the way
a
these
lot
two
of
guys have been playing.
Right, you got the plus for that working. You got the plus for the overtime working. I mean, this could be 0-0 and go to overtime. 1-0 win. You're sitting perfect. There's a lot of things happen. That would be ideal. 0-0 the whole game.
Correct.
You go to overtime and you get the shutout. It don't even matter who wins. You get a plus 450 and a plus $3. That's beautiful. The basketball. The T-Wolves have led for 12 seconds. I believe it's 12 total seconds of the game. Maybe it's 22. I don't know if it's 12 or 22. But what's the halftime deficit, in your opinion? So they're down 19
it's
right
going to be
now,
18
7
to 20.
minutes and change.
Yeah. It feels like it's been 18 to 20 down for a while now. The bench players already played here, Dave, and Minnesota wasn't able to make any ground up against the reserves. So now Luka and company are back in for the final 7 minutes. They need a run here. Otherwise, they will. But again, saving grace, let's not forget, this is exactly what happened to Dallas, don't forget, right? In game 2, before they came, but they were down 18. Yep. They were down huge early, and they were able to come back. So it will, if it stays like this, I'll certainly be looking to back Minnesota in some way in the second half or in the third period, because I would fully anticipate that they are going to empty the tank. And we got a goal. Yes. Oh, is that a shorthanded goal? That is another shorthanded goal by the Rangers on the power play for the Panthers. Just unbelievable. And look who it is, of all guys. Kreider, too, finally gets one. But how in the world can you give up a shorthanded goal again, Florida? That is just mind-numbing to me. Guys out of place, Dave, in the wrong position. And guess what? That's it. Rangers take advantage. 1-0 on the shorthanded goal here. And a beauty, too, by the way. Very nice goal by Kreider. But 1-0.
It's funny.
My goodness.
How these things happen right in the playoffs, right? Kreider.
Oh, yes.
I mean, he was ripping mouthpieces out of guys' mouth in Florida and all this other stuff and chirping at the beginning of the game, a little elbow to welcome you to Madison Square Garden. We're back. We got a 3-game series, and I'm going to be here all night. I love it. I'm watching it with no sound, and I'm watching the fans react. I hear Jack in their ear, and I got goosebumps. I love this stuff. I absolutely love it. Wagering, not wagering, whatever it is, this is the most fun time of year. The hockey playoffs live up to it every damn time. It's fun to see them get, last night felt different, Joe. It felt different. There was no basketball, and there was only one hockey game, and it was nice to have the spotlight. So I love it. That's a huge for the Rangers. That is huge for the Rangers. Let me click refresh here on my app.
I think they said
InGame is.
That was the 6th shorthanded goal by the Rangers this postseason, which ties them with the Red Wings, those teams there back in the early 2000s. It looks like that's the most in a postseason since the Red Wings, those great teams.
Wow.
So that's impressive. Wow. They take advantage of exactly what you give them here. So, and if you're the Panthers, there is no excuse, because that's the second one this series, I think, that they have against them. And you just can't do that. That's terrible.
No. Book's just trying to decide right now between 4.5. How fast do you move it? What do you do? It look like the Panthers are going back on a power play. Joe, do you like the jump into the glass, score a goal celebration? Like Kreider made that great move, went to the backhand, and went right to the glass and just swan dive right into the glass. I did that in a playoff game in 1988 in high school, and I got made fun of for it. But I think sometimes you just lose your mind when you score a goal. This is a really big situation. I love the jump into the glass. You don't get hurt. It looks like you're going into the crowd like it. Do you like it? Do you like the jump into the glass celebration?
I like it for all, but we got another power play coming on here. I have no idea what's going on now. We have another power play, but this time I believe it'll be the Rangers on it as what are they calling that? A trip? Is that what they're calling tripping? That was kind of weak. So it'll be Rangers on the power play. So they kind of got the Panthers on the ropes right about now, early here in the second. Shorthanded goal. Now they get a power play here, 16 minutes to go. And it's not getting better for the Timberwolves, folks. Sorry. 52-34. 5 minutes to go in that game. These numbers are fascinating. We'll give them to you when we get back. See if there's any way that we can jump in on Minnesota with this, with these lines. It's crazy. Come back and join us in game live primetime here on the Grid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you know, as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer, too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live, and we are prime time here. And what craziness is going on here in the playoffs tonight? The NHL, the Florida Panthers, with giving up another shorthanded goal to the Rangers, making it a 1-0 game. The Rangers get on the power play, and all of a sudden, the Panthers turn the clock there, and all of a sudden, they had a 3-on-2 shorthanded Great save by Shesterkin, but all hell broke loose when the Panthers basically ran him over. But no harm, no foul, it looks like here. So the play continues, 5-on-4 still. Couple of really good saves by Bobrovsky. He lost his helmet.
Yep.
And we've got about 30 seconds left to go before the end of the power play for the Rangers. In the meantime, the Minnesota Timberwolves, 52-36, 211.5, the in-game total, Dave. 8.5 is the in-game number here.
Yep.
I'm shocked that the total is just hovering, not moving. This entire, as many as 20, total not moving. Almost as if they don't feel like both teams are going to score.
This is right.
Which is interesting.
You can't keep the pace up, likely, that the Mavericks have. You
Correct.
have to get better if you're the Timberwolves. So that means it kind of goes back close to the original number. It's tough when nothing is really changing. I mean, the margin has been 16, 18, 16, 19, 16, 15, 16. When it stays like that, the scoring pace stays the same. So you don't see the volatility in the total that much. And it's really hard to push it one way or the other to try to get in advance of it. And, we were talking during the break, like, at what point do you go grab the number? Well, you see what they're doing. You're not getting above 10.5 again now. Like, they're sitting, waiting. And again, it doesn't mean they're right. They're just kind of, that's the point where they're taking the stand. So I get it. Enjoy it. We'll talk about it more. Cam's coming up in about 15 minutes or so from now. That'll be fun because I'm sure he's got some hockey opinions. We'll have this hockey game on lockdown. I don't know. I don't, as of right now, Joe, I don't think the T-Wolves are coming back. Like, to win the game.
Oh, no.
Can they cover double digits? I don't think they're going to win the game. I don't want to be the spoiler. There's still a lot of basketball left to be played. But just looking at the numbers, again, I haven't watched 1 second of it. I got the screen set up on the hockey exclusively. But I don't think they're coming back.
Well, I can tell you this. You can get double digits now with the Timberwolves here. Again, it's back up to a 20-point lead here, 56-36. It is just not Kyrie is just running circles around Naz Reid. And really pretty much they're leaving those same role players that beat OKC, Dave, for Dallas, that they're starting to really pour it on here because they are selling out to stop Luka at all costs, and they're leaving guys like PJ Washington wide open in the corner, and they are hitting shots. And if that's the case, yikes. 58-36. In-game number 11.5. So at this point, with 3 minutes to go, just wait to see how many points it is at the break and make a decision of whether or not that the number in the third period might or third quarter might be worth backing. Maybe get a little push from Minnesota, but they look absolutely defeated right now here. And 212.5, Dallas is going to slow this thing down to a crawl in the second half if they were up 20. That's what I would do.
Well, I don't know. At some point, though, maybe they'll do that, but I think they'll try to get it even more. Let's just get it up to 28 and then get empty the bench. And then slow it down, then run the clock. Then, I love the team that wins it on the road. I think that. I've talked to guys in the past. Winning it on the road has a special feeling because you get to fly home together as the win, with the win, whether it's the championship series, the conference final series. Winning on the road, winning at home is great. You get to celebrate with the fans. Winning on the road, it's the team and that flight home. Dallas pumped up.
They are. And we'll check on Luka's stats next here.
now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you know, as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
InGame Live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live, prime time. We've got an update here. With about 2.5 minutes to go in the Western Conference Final, it's been all Dallas Mavericks here to this point. It is 58-38, 2.5 to go. But Derek Lively just was crushed under the basket by Naz Reid, who went headhunting. And, of course, he was taken out by a knee to the head to Karl Anthony Towns in Game 3. Didn't play in Game 4. They ruled out a concussion, so he was able to play tonight, but they're reviewing this right now. This feels like this could be there was just no need for it. There just was absolutely no attempt to try not to wrap him around the head and take him down as he was going up for a dunk, Dave. And Lively was still on the ground. So I would imagine a possible flagrant 2, which means Naz Reid's season is in all likelihood over. But if you have a goal horn, that would be fantastic as well. There you go. Forsling with the goal here. 1-1 now, Florida and the Rangers here. So there go the shutouts. But pretty impressive stuff. 11.5 minutes to go there. What do you do with the total in that one now here, Dave?
Nice
5.5 again?
Goal. Yeah, you have to move it.
You got to go to 5.5 again, right?
Yeah, you do. I mean, only because we got over half the period left. So yeah, the math would dictate we go back to the original number. Wow, was that onside, boys? Are they going to review that?
No, they're already on the way.
Okay. Wow. He did a nice toe drag to get onside, I guess, but I don't know. Watching the replay, I feel like Igor should have had that one. It just hit off his glove. But that
did seem like, well, he's made much better saves today on much tougher shots than what was. But you can't say them all, I guess, although at plus 450 would have been nice if you could have. But it is 1-1 at this point. So now we've got, let's see, about 10 minutes to go, 5.5, Dave, right back to it. 4.5, 5.5.
Joe,
first period under was a winner. Thank goodness.
I just clicked on the basketball game because we were going to talk about Before Cam gets here, we'll focus on the hockey. But it's 61-38. Okay,
it's close.
It's now
it's
14 and a half. Okay, I don't know if I take that. I think I got to get over 15. This is getting uglier and uglier. Now, what is that doing to this finals price? All right, that's a good question. And I saw the boys ask that, in the rundown. And you can see what it is by the future prices. And I've been shopping the future prices, watching the Celtics go from minus 160 when they were going to play the T-Wolves to up to minus 230 if they're going to play Dallas.
Oof.
So Dallas is right now, before this blowout, plus 190. If Dallas closes it out tonight, which, again, we both agree that they're going to, we wake up tomorrow, Joe. What's the market settle at for the series price?
I just don't think, out of sight, out of mind. It won't affect it at what it was. We've heard prices. We've heard first game, right? In Boston next Thursday, 6.5, 7.5, somewhere along those lines. So the books are going to price this as if the Celtics are clearly the better team. Most guys that I've talked to all week have Boston significantly power rated better than Dallas. Okay. And that may very well be true here. They certainly, with Porzingis back in the lineup, are a much different animal. But that's the X factor. But there is something to be said for a team that has battled its way out of the West, and those extra guys, they call them role players. They are feeling it with Luka and Kyrie here. This is going to be, I think, a much closer matchup than anything Boston has seen so far, all year long, for that matter. But I think after game one, if Dallas is to win it, then I think you'll see a little bit of an adjustment. But the reality is the power rankings have them at least on a neutral court, 3.5, if not 4-point favorites.
Oh, that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
I think, I can see that argument, but there's that saying, the devil you do or the devil you don't, like what's the difference or whatever. Like, I know what I got right now with Dallas. And I know what I got with Boston with what they have. You throw Porzingis into this mix. He hasn't played in a long time. Yes, he's great, all that other stuff. But, I don't know how to measure that in the number. I don't know how to measure that with the total. I have no idea what we're going to get out of him. Are they going to ease him into it? Or are they going to play him a lot of minutes? Is he taking away minutes from somebody else? Does he get the ball first? Does he get the ball last through the offense? Does that mean less shots for White? It means definitely less shots for Al Horford. There's so many things that get affected by the unknown. I really wish I'm glad I'm not in the room and have to kind of come up with a number for this, but I wish he would have played in the last series just a little bit so I can kind of assess it with my own eyes or know kind of what we're going to get. So I don't know.
Or how long you're going to get it. That's the problem with him.
Could be one half of a game, right?
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So to me, it's great that if he's available, but he's a wild card. But the way Dallas is built here, they're not going to be intimidated size-wise. He's going to be a good rim protector, but quite honestly, with the way Luka, Kyrie, and they're shooting the three now, I think every one of those games, you'd be hard-pressed for me backing an under in any way, shape, or form. Because I think the threes are flying.
100%. You're
Absolutely.
going to see higher totals.
Yep.
Then you're going to see,
in
the Western Conference. The 211s are gone. Bye-bye. You're going to see a lot closer to the Celtics, sweeping the Pacers, the 220s.
Oh, Minnesota made a run, Dave. They made a little bit of a run. It's only 29 now, 69-40 at the break. They did. It was a little bit of a run. They ran off the court is what I actually meant when I said they took a run. They actually ran off the court back into the locker room. And if I was them, I would just keep going to the parking lot and start their cars because that is just embarrassing at home to lose by 29 in the first half. But good news, those that had Dallas plus money to win the first half, boom. Those that had the first half over, thanks to Dallas, that went over. Because I think that number was 102.5. Also, Doncic, 25, 6, and 3. So he's already got what, Dave? 34 of the. What did he need? He needs 13 points, rebounds, or assists to go over. He's about 6 points short of the points prop.
Yep.
Karl Anthony Towns and Edwards are the two high scorers for Minnesota at 12 points apiece. That's not going to get it done. I don't think they're booing them, by the way, big time at home in Minnesota. Boos.
It's a tough spot. It's a tough spot to be in.
Oh, it's brutal.
You know, you got all the hope back after you won the game 4 in Dallas. You come home like, all right, let's get this one and get them back to Dallas. And I think Anthony Edwards is going to have to, hold on to those Air Force Ones that he had planned to give to Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin, Doncic, 25 points. Kyrie, 19.
You know who led the Wolves in shot attempts in the first half? Rudy Gobert. There's your problem, Minnesota. There's your problem.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer, too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
InGame Live, PrimeTime, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back InGame Live, prime time here as they are finally at the break, and Minnesota could not be happier right now. 69-40, the Dallas Mavericks have ripped the soul out of the Minnesota Timberwolves here, down 29 with the season on the line. In-game numbers 19.5 to 11.5, so still an opportunity total-wise to be able to go one way or the other. 1-1 with the Panthers and the Rangers, and the guy that will be heading the operation up the top of the hour, Gabe Morency, Cam Stewart, who will be following both these games till the conclusion. And Cam, okay, so when we get Cam in, we'll get you there. But 1-1 still here, Dave, in the second with what about? Feels like it's flying, too, the time in this one here. They are they're cruising up and down. We've got about 6 minutes to go. 4.5 is the total, which is kind of where it's settled in at.
Yep.
If it's 1-1 at the end, what are we doing?
Right. If it's 1-1, we're sitting at 4.5.
Under,
we're juicing
right?
the under. Right? It's still under.
Under,
yeah.
right?
No, I think it's still under. Because likely 3-1. If both teams score, obviously you're done. But again, hopefully you have under 5.5. And Joe gets the overtime bet that we don't have to worry about because that's plus money. We don't get the shutout, but the overtime is still live. So yeah, I think 15 shots to 17 shots right now. Both teams end up with close to 20. I think we get a super conservative third period and no penalties. I mean, unless somebody flips a puck over the glass or we get a too many men on the ice that's, the linesman and the referee have to call, I think you're going to see them let them play. That's the one thing I know is consistent. Like, Angel Hernandez retired and, his strike zone was the most inconsistent strike zone in baseball. It was just that nights it just a foot off the plate was a strike and there was no answering for it. Basketball, sub nights, the officials, they got nicknames even for people that help make games go another way or over or whatever. But in hockey, in the third period in a playoff game, especially in a tied playoff game, you have to really commit a felony to get a penalty call, a 2-minute minor. So
yes,
I like that into the handicap when you're watching a game like this, where I ain't really got to worry about too many power plays. Again, if something has to be called that the whole arena sees, okay, but they're not going to call roughing. And if they do, where we get beat is if they take both guys off and we get 4-on-4 hockey.
Correct.
Any 4-on-4 hockey, Joe, in the third period for an extended period of time, maybe the game will go over. But I think it's under 4.5.
When the Rangers actually score the most, when they have just 4 guys on the ice, apparently. Which is nuts here. I do want to let you know, by the way, Yankee game just started. 1-2-3, top of the first. Angels coming up in the bottom half of the first here. And it should be noted when we mentioned it at the start of the show last hour, the New York Mets are a couple outs away from beating Arizona at great plus money. I'm hoping Kurtz has a little Benadryl. We had our good friend George Kurtz on last hour. Not one that likes to take big dogs here, especially terrible ones like the Mets, but it felt like that was the right spot there, Dave, especially with Zach Gallen going down for Arizona in the first inning after facing a batter. They were scrambling in the bullpen here tonight. Mets were able to take advantage here. 3-2, top of the ninth inning. Tigers are shutting out the Red Sox 5-0. And the Braves, they got 3 outs here, Dave, to get up a couple of runs. They're down 3-1 against the Nats. And they, too, seem to be having a hard time hitting the ball lately here, this Atlanta team. They're going through it here a little bit, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And again, when a star player goes down, that kind of happens.
It's rough.
It's
rough.
right away, but you don't move the numbers too much, like as far as them making the playoffs. You maybe slide the division down a little bit, but they're still the Braves, and they have reinforcements. And we were talking about it today on Game Time Decisions with Kevin, and he was like, "Wow, how do you not move the number like where you they're done?" I said, "Well, they're not. It's baseball. It's one guy,
right?"
And everybody was ready to pack it in with the Yankees when Garrett Cole was out, and it's like, Who saw any of this starting pitching coming? Not too many people. So
wasn't he out when they won the World Series anyway with Freeman? Like, he was hurt, wasn't he? So if I'm not mistaken, they even the first go around he was not available tonight because he blew his the ACL out in the first half of that season. So they didn't even have him when they went to the World Series. I don't think. So if I'm not mistaken, they've done this, been there and done this before, but it's so young in the season. And to your point, they still have the ability before the trade deadline to go out and get some pieces. I'm still more worried about the pitching than I am the hitting. I think the hitting will be just fine. It's the pitching that concerns me with the Braves. But I'll tell you this, if it gets any worse, there's going to be an awful lot of love in the marketplace for the Phillies. And I'd be looking only to bet the Braves to win the National League East at that point, because the Phillies number has to be over the top now. It's got to be ridiculous. So I would only look at Atlanta.
They scoring runs. Their team totals like 32-4 in the last 36 games. They're getting the good pitching. They got if Wheeler and Nola weren't enough, they got Suarez, who unbelievable.
And they're playing nobody though, still.
Pitching. It's crazy.
But this first half of the schedule has been
way too easy. Way too easy. No doubt. All bad teams. All bad.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And you can only play the teams in front of you. But the Braves have pretty good value right now to win that National League East. All right, we'll get you updated Madison Square Garden Rangers Panthers. We'll do that when InGame Live Primetime continues here on the Grid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
Using the parlays against one another, right? And being able to get a little bit of juice consig, I found to be a little interesting.
Believe me, all the rhombuses and parallelograms are constantly trying to search and find out those things every day. It's one of the battles that you know, as you expand the menu, you encounter new battles.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
InGame Live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York team has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live prime time here as we get ready to wrap up this hour. Sports Rage coming up next with Cam Stewart. They will carry you the rest of the way with the second half of this NBA beatdown here by the Dallas Mavericks here, up 29 over the Timberwolves, 69-40. In-game number, Dave, I don't think I've ever seen this here. Home team is getting 19.5. If you're thinking that they got a little comeback in them here, that means the second half is what, 10? And I don't see Dallas, to your point, with a week off. Why would they call off the dogs? I don't see them calling off the dogs until they know it's good to go. You can't do it. You got to finish the job here. But I guess the argument can be made, you finish the job in the first half. I mean, that is just unbelievable. A 29-point deficit in the first half. And the total, 210.5, Dave. We're kind of right back where we started. It's crazy.
Right back to the close. Right back to the closing number.
Wow.
I'm glad we're getting off the air, and the boys got to try to figure out a time to take the points. 20.5 is a pretty good number to take if you're going to take the points. I don't know how much higher it can go. So
it's right there now. 71-40. They just started, and guess who made the first bucket?
Luka. Luka.
Of course.
Was it Luka?
The guy is out of his mind. He's out of his mind.
We got to get to the end of the second period with the hockey. This is going to be really interesting. Book's going to have to make a decision. A couple minutes in, you go to 3.5 and figure that the next goal wins. We've heard that expression many times. We've used it ourselves.
Correct.
When we're watching these playoff games. I'll say it right now. Next goal wins. Whoever gets it.
I love it.
They win the game. So we'll we'll watch. I'll be watching it hopefully from dinner somewhere. But it's 3.5 plus money. Under. Not a bad bet. You might get beat with an empty netter, but if this thing goes to overtime, you can sit back and get to the window and cash with Joe, because Joe got the overtime.
Yep.
This is good, right?
Yep.
You want the overtime now.
Yep. I'm seeing, by the way, Panthers and the under 3.5, 3-1. Rangers and the under to win the game 3-1. So there are some combos you can put together here, depending on who you think is going to win, and if you think they're going to get over 3.5 goals. So the game winner and total goals props are pretty decently priced right now. You can get either, and if you think it's going to go over, it's actually a little chalkier to go over the 3.5, Dave. So it looks like they're leaning that maybe 2 more goals we'd have to get in this period here in the third. And I don't know that we're getting there, man. I just don't know that we're getting there.
Panthers 0 for 3 on a power play. The Rangers 0 for 2 on a power play. The Rangers actually out hitting the Panthers. The Panthers out shooting the Rangers. Listen, as a sports
that was
fan,
a big second period.
Guy, this is all you could ask for. This is one of those ones where, and you got the perfect, like the NBA game. Let's be honest. Unless you're betting, you're really not interested right now. I don't think so.
There's nothing to be interested in. 22.5 is the number.
How high does this go? Somebody's going to have to keep an eye on this. Does it go up to 25? 25.5?
It's 30. They're down 33 right now, Dallas, and we still have 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. So, and Luke, they're not even covering Luka now. Luka's just driving to the bucket and taking easy shots. It's a comedy of errors right now with what's going on.
Does he hang a 50 on him?
And would it shock you? Because it wouldn't shock me. Yankees, by the way, 1-2-3 in the top of the second, heading to the bottom of the second with the Angels. That is the lone game, late game here tonight. So keep an eye on that one. All the other games are done. In fact, Washington wins, the Mets win, and the Detroit Tigers won in the late slate of games. Yankees and Angels right now. But Gabe Morency, the Sports Rage, coming up next. Tim and Cam Stewart will cover it. Dave and I, of course, will be back tomorrow, another edition of In Game Live. But hey, Enjoy. Well, enjoy the hockey because the basketball game is over. We'll see you again soon. Good luck.